Pete, you got stats yet or no? We don't have them yet. That's all right. All right. Thank you to everybody that came out tonight. I thought the crowd was fantastic. I don't know, not sure what to say about the game. A lot of plays on both sides of the ball. Two teams that obviously wanted to find a way to win the game. And I'm awfully proud of our kids. Not just to get prepared to play this game, but to battle through the ups and downs, make plays in all three phases of the game, on defense, on offense, and special teams to give ourselves a chance to win. That was the type of effort it was going to take. There's so many kids' names that pop into my mind when I think about this game, and all they've been through and what they battled for. It makes you awfully proud, and maybe most importantly, just happy for them. As we see these kids on a daily basis, we know what this game means. And as a coach, you desperately want them to have success. And it was nice to get to see them celebrate. Questions?
Justin, you said during the week, I guess on Monday, that some guys leaving wasn't indicative of the fight and the spirit in your team. Was tonight indicative of kind of what you believe this roster is made of?
Yeah, I would say that. It's just indicative of what we see on a daily basis from our guys. We know it's there. We see them come to practice daily, and how they work in the weight room. And we all understand that in this arena, you're subject to criticism and all that sort of stuff. It's just you just want your kids so desperately that are putting all that work in to have some success. And it was hard for them to get to celebrate tonight. They had to go through a lot, but I was proud that they did.
And we've talked about Ryan's competitiveness, but where he almost took the sack there in overtime and then fought out of it. What is going through your mind as you watch that unfold?
Probably the same as everybody else that's watching it. Throw the ball away, But he just gets out there and plays as hard as he can. And you don't usually say that about a quarterback, but he just plays all out and as hard as he can every single snap. And he certainly made some plays, and like everybody, made a couple mistakes, but I was happy that we got an incompletion there because it would have been disastrous.
Justin, two plays on that game-tying drive you had at the end of regulation. Keene pulls the ball down on sort of a 50-50 ball, and then you get the fumble into the end zone on Peoples that they recovered. What's going through your mind on both of those plays where it seems like the ball is 50-50, whether you could even come up with it?
Well, we were not in desperation mode on Keene's catch, but it was getting there quickly. And, Ryan just kind of bought some time, and I don't know what he saw. I have no idea. I just know, he threw the ball up there, and Dalton making that catch is indicative of the type of person Dalton is. And I don't think there's anybody that's surprised on our team that's surprised that he came down with it. The fumble was so bang, I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. We had a nice crease in there, and it was Steven, right? He was carrying the ball. He was moving fast through the hole, and I just couldn't. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I heard somebody on the headset say fumble. All I could see were legs and bodies, and then I felt like I saw a couple people dive on the ground, and then I saw a couple more people dive on the ground, so I guess the ball must have not been recovered. So that's probably not a great description of what happened. I just didn't see. I couldn't see much.
You mentioned Ryan avoiding the sack in overtime, but what about the play at the end of the first half where he chases down?
My gosh. Yeah, so we have a play where, for that situation where we know the clock's going to be stopped at the end of the play. We're either going to catch it and step out of bounds or throw an incompletion, line up and kick a long field goal. And they played cover 2, and the corner sat on it, which, the ball should probably go to the other receiver. But when he catches it and is heading the other way, Brian's the only shot to get the guy down, the only shot. And when I saw that, I thought he was going to get there. I was worried about him cutting back on him, having been a quarterback in that situation before many, many years ago. It's a hard tackle to make. And it was a huge play, obviously. And the fact he got him on the ground and we got to go to half and that wasn't 7 points was pretty big.
And then just a quick question about Damon. Unable to play receiver today, you just wanted him to catch punts?
Yeah, Damon just hadn't practiced very much this week. Like we had him and he played a little bit, but he just didn't practice very much. So, I mean, we had him for emergency kind of use only. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he played a few snaps at receiver, but just was going to be a limited role just because he hadn't practiced as much.
Trey Turner, what he did at the end of the half, I guess what impressed you more, the one-handed catch or the punt block, and had you expected that? I mean, he got off that punt block really fast. Is that something you kind of saw coming from him?
He is a competitor. He really is. I mean, obviously he has talent, and he can run and those sorts of things, but he's a highly intelligent competitor. And he was a one-man band there for a little bit, blocking the punt and making the big catch and having the long run. And if he continues to work, I think he's going to have a really nice career here. And it's really nice to see guys like that are willing to go play big roles on special teams. I think that sets a great example to our other players. One day he'll be an older player. He's a true freshman right now, and the example he sets. He covers kickoffs for us sometimes. So just another great example of a team player, a team-first guy, and we need more with that same attitude.
In the kicking situation, you guys, I think, missed 7 straight going into that one at the end of the game. I mean, Brian Johnson, what was his mentality like, through kind of the struggles, and what was kind of the discussions with some of the field goals?
Well, going in, we were going to, if the ball was on the 22-yard line or further out, we were going to go with Jordan because Jordan obviously has a big leg. I really wish we could get Brian a little shorter field goal. It hasn't happened. We hadn't made one in a while, but they haven't been gimmies. And the thing that I felt good about Brian is that he's been so good in practice. He really has been. And but I think when he made the first one, he felt better, and then obviously the one he made in overtime was huge.
You were talking about Trey, who's so young, Ricky Walker, what this game meant to him. What does it mean to you that he kind of goes out with that win?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'm a good enough orator to put that into words. I just, I told those guys, that I love them, and, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. It's, I tell them I'm sorry. I wish I could give a better, more flowery speech to them, but I love them to death. And, Ricky has been fantastic for this football program. He's an adult. He's a grown man. And to see him get to celebrate and hold the cup and get our picture taken on the 50-yard line for a trophy game victory with Rick was pretty special.
Justin, you had under a minute left in regulation, and Steven has the big 13-yard run, but you don't have any timeouts left, and I guess you killed it, and then you ran a couple more running plays. Was it just safer
We're
at that
so
point?
in between. Like we had overtime. It's not like we've been, just dicing them up. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't. It was just a situation where we were so in between there, in terms of trying to run the clock out, but feeling good that if we could pop a run out of there, that we were going to go. Even though there was not much time. So we were just kind of caught in no man's land there a little bit.
Final question, David.
What is your view of the final play?
Well, I have no idea. I just know their quarterback had the ball, and the ball was on the ground, and it was a scrum, and the rest is history. I don't know who knocked it out, who recovered it. I have no idea.
Elmar recovered.
Belmar did.
Nobody knocked it out.
Oh, he didn't.
No, they
Just-
bad exchange.
Oh, they did. Yeah, I don't know. You know, the thing about it is fitting that Belmar recovered it. You
Why
know,
is that?
Belmar's been beat up, you know, and he shows up and practices every day. He's, you know, he got carted off once. He's playing about on one leg out there, but he's tough. And, you know, what this team is about. And for him to recover that, I think is pretty poetic.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.